So I know a lot of people say, don't do a website, have a viable product, or just have a sign up form. Well, I wouldn't do any of that. I would first start with a website because I know that a website can work for me. I can have a form there. I can make it look beautiful and amazing that this is a trustworthy place. You have landed on the right place, and I have the goods of what you need. That's what a website can articulate. And it really goes into that word of mouth marketing, that whole referral thing. What it comes down to is having an irresistible brand. Hello, welcome to Monetizing Mompreneurs podcast, where I take you behind the scenes with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, moms, working professionals, and amazing people pursuing their passions and going for their dreams. And I'm your host, Linda Mendable. Welcome, Biz Bestie. So in today's episode, I'm going to do it a little bit different. And basically, it's going to mirror what I'm going to be taking you through within the society. So you can use this if you have signed up for the society, if you're planning on signing up, you can use these next few audios with the work that you're doing inside the society. Okay, so I'm going to be your coach in these minisodes. This is going to be a special series for you because I really believe that you can build a dream business if you start on the right things at the right time. So one of the questions that I'm going to be asking a lot of the guests that are going to be coming on the show that have established businesses, that have tons of followership, admiration, that they've made it to the 6, to the 7-figure, to the 8-figure mark, right? I'm going to ask them, if everything was taken away and they had to start from zero, where would they start? I know, right? That's a great question to ask. That's what I feel like it's a great question to ask. And it's going to be part of this September's Micro Audio Summit. So you don't want to miss out. Here we go. We're going to go straight in and jump in with what I would do. And you're going to be hearing from what other people would do. And you're going to see how there's going to be different ways that people do things. And it's really going to coincide with people's personalities, the way that people use their talents and their gifting, right? Remember, we all have different gifts and talents. So what I love to take my clients through is basically building a community, right? So a website is very, very important in building that community. So I know a lot of people say, don't do a website, have a viable product, or just have a sign up form. Well, I wouldn't do any of that. I would first start with a website because I know that a website can work for me. I can have a form there. I can make it look beautiful and amazing that this is a trustworthy place. You have landed on the right place, and I have the goods of what you need. That's what a website can articulate. And it really goes into that word of mouth marketing, that whole referral thing. What it comes down to is having an irresistible brand. So building that brand, knowing your brand colors, because if you're going to build a website, you have to know your colors. You have to know your fonts because you have to articulate yourself well in every medium, whether it's in audio, whether it's visually. You have to articulate yourself well because the right people will be attracted on the way that you will articulate your products and services. So I would start there because I know that it's my first employer. It's my first worker. It works for me 24/7. It promotes me 24/7. Whatever people need, it's there. They can link on it. They can click on it. I can point to it, right? And it can monetize. I can potentially monetize the content that I put out there with my website. And I'm talking about with the website, also with the blog, right? Like if I was starting from zero, of course, number one, what am I selling? What am I not expert in? What do I know how to do and do well? Two, have a website that articulates that. Whether I'm just starting out, I will still have a website that articulates that. And in the beginning, the way I started out is I took a look at my gifts and talents and I said, who can I best serve? Right? Who can I best serve for my gifts and talents? And I started to pitch to those people and was paid the prices that I would pitch, right? Because I understood the industry market of whatever I'm selling. So you understand, basically the price points in your market. And in order to have a strong online presence, you need to know all that information. That's why you should start with a website so you can articulate what you need on it really, really well. And if it's not converting, there's a problem in in transparency and the clarity and things like that. So build a strong website, know the products that you're selling, know the services that you're selling. And then I would build an intentional community. I would build a website that goes into an email list. So that you can sign up and grab something, and I would build my community, and that boom sends you to my online community. Why? Why? Even if I am not present in that online community, I want an online community. Why? Because a lot of y'all look at numbers, right? And sometimes, right, when you walk into a restaurant and you see nobody is in there, nobody's eating their food, right? You're like, something must be wrong with this restaurant. Let's get out of here. Especially if it's a high traffic time, like noon, right? Lunchtime. That's when people usually eat and there's nobody inside that restaurant. You're gonna be a bit sus, like, hey, what's going on here? And so that's why it's important on having kind of like, what is it called? That social proof, right? That you are someone you should listen to, right? Because you know what you're talking about, you know how you're articulating yourself, right? You're an expert in your field. That's what the group would kind of like communicate. And I can keep my hand on the pulse when it comes to market research, what people like, what they don't like. I can even test names. Hey, what do you guys think of that? I'm already attracting a certain audience, and why not bring them into kind of like a core focus group in a Facebook environment? That's your core focus group, right? So I would go there. And then, of course, I would build out my enticing offer based on that market research. So that is kind of like what I would do. It's one, two, three, right? But I didn't know all of the pieces because everything was kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? Seeing what works, seeing what sticks. And one of the things that really worked really well before I even had a Facebook community was blogging. So imagine taking things that work really well and doubling on those things and incorporating them in your business. And that's what I would do. Next, I would do social media, right? I already have my offer, my core offer, something that doesn't take much of my time or any of my time, right? That's why I'm building currently my template shop, because yes, it's going to take my time up front, but later on, it's something that's scalable, that doesn't really necessarily need me, but that I can guide, right? Building out your enticing offer is also key. Like finding ways to have a system that doesn't really need your time so much, right? Because if you're a service provider, that one you like I had someone just say, I had a meeting, one of our accountability meetings, and I had another designer come on, and I was thankful that she came on because the community is currently small. So if you come on, I'm so thankful. And she was like, Linda, if I'm not here on my computer, I'm not making money, right? And some of you are like that because you have to switch over, okay, how can I make this more sustainable, right? And having that mindset of making things more sustainable. So let's talk a little bit, for the next part of this, let's talk a little bit about building that online presence. And I know last week you heard about the website mistakes that you could be making. And I think a lot of people don't understand how to use some things that are out there for you to use, like especially when it comes to branding, especially when it comes to copy, right? Right now, we're living in a crazy time that AI has just been introduced. We're in the cutting edge of growing how we will use AI for whatever reason. We're in a really weird time in the timeline. And there's a lot of pros and cons with everything, but there's a lot of tools that you can use that can help you, grow your business, especially ChatGPT. So I would coincide helping you build your site and using ChatGPT for your copy to help you articulate what it is that you do a bit more. And you have to understand what type of brand you want to build. You want to build a more, personable brand. You want to build a brand that's, more professional on the professional side. And then before you can even get there, who is the website for? who is your ideal client, who is your ideal customer. So I will build the website and then understand my clientele. And from understanding my clientele, tweak the website to represent them a lot more. Well, thank you so much for this episode. And as we dive in deeper, I will go in deeper with you as well. If you have any questions, please email me them. I would definitely love to answer them on the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have a chance, stop by the website at lindamendable.com and join us over at Monetizing Mompreneurs Facebook group. I just want to say again, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.